All right, World of Wonder. Today we're going to do a 1v1. We're going to do the Paradym X driver, which is supposed to be the more draw biased of the bunch, versus Paradym Standard and its adjustability in the back. So with the test that I'd like to do is I'm going to move the sliding scale all the way back to the draw setting and go up against the Paradym X and just see what the difference is between the two. It's Paradym 1v1 time. It's a World of Wonder. Let's get into it. So we're going to do 1v1. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Paradym Standard. I have the weight. It's a 15-gram slider set to neutral, just to give us a nice baseline of what this driver does. I really like this in my original testing. We have Foresight GC quad. Can't do a good test without a quad. And we'll hit a couple with this at this setting, and then I'm going to move that weight all the way to the heel and see what it does. Absolutely roasted it. 161 ball speed, 288 carry, 22-24 spin at 16 launch. That's nutty. That's really high. Okay, that is nutty. Let's hit one more for baseline. And then we'll move that weight to the heel. Roasted again. 162 ball speed, 286 carry, 1950 spin at 15 launch. I hit that a little higher on the face. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, and I heard something from some insiders at Callaway that told me that the Paradym head actually doesn't really have a draw setting. That when you move this scale or this weight over to the heel, it actually gives it a neutral center of gravity, not really a draw bias center of gravity, which is actually kind of a cool concept because you go to neutral and it should fly pretty straight, and if you go out towards the toe, it should give you a real fade bias driver. So now we move it to the heel. I just want to see how easy it is to turn over. Ooh, that was nice. But I hit that hard. 166 ball speed. 296 carry, 2300 spin at 11 launch. That was kind of amazing. Okay. Okay. And it had like probably a 3-yard draw on it. Let's hit one more. Then we're going to get the Paradym X. God, this thing's awesome. 165 ball speed, 290 carry, 2100 spin at 13 launch. Those are optimal numbers. Okay, so what did we learn? Like, I hit both those shots pretty close to the middle of the club face. It doesn't, like moving this over here, all it does is just takes it from like a straight shot to a straight shot that falls slightly left. So it's a pretty neutral center of gravity. Now, we're gonna go to Paradym X, which is an interesting concept, the Paradym X. In my testing with players, like I did a testing with Roger Steele and a couple other people, Paradym X actually spins less than this guy does. It's easier to turn over, but it doesn't. It's been kind of a low spinner for some of the higher speed players. My dad plays this and spins it plenty. And you know, he's not a high speed guy, but he gets plenty of spin out of this thing. So I'm gonna see what it does for me. Interesting drivers, these Paradyms. So at address, it sets up square, maybe slightly, face wants to point a little bit left. Basically kind of sits a little upright, I guess is the way I would describe that. Which, you know, if it's going to help you turn it over, you want the toe up a little bit. And let's hit this Paradym X. I took a rip at that one. Wow, 164 ball speed, 1899 spin at 16 launch. God, I launch it high, apparently. Let's hit a couple more. That was nutty. So I had that same shot with Paradym and it spun 400 RPMs more than this one did. That is interesting. There was a nice one. Nice straight ball. Boy, this thing's forgiving. 164, 285, 26.99 spin at 13.7. I hit that a little lower on the club face than the other two, or the other one, which usually the spin would spike up for me. That didn't spike up that much. Let's hit one more. And I'm going to try and actually turn this over and see if it like snap hooks. Not really, just kind of went straight and now it's fallen left. That was pounded. 163, 287, but this is where it gets interesting. 1935 RPMs a spin. So I hit a couple of shots with Paradym that actually spun a lot more than this thing does. I don't know why it's the lower spin driver for me. I've only seen this happen with a couple of the higher speed players like Roger Steele. I'm not a high speed player, but potentially it's where I'm hitting it on the face. This is why getting fit for the right head is so important. Like I fell on triple diamond. If you guys saw my video from a couple weeks ago, my fitting video with Garrett Pond. But this is the key. You can't just fall on a head because you heard this one does this one or this one does that one. You have to try them all to find out what the right fit is for you. So if you have any questions on Paradym drivers, go to CallawayGolf.com, World of Wunder website, Paradym 1v1. That was fun.